Welcome everyone to the past continuous tense part 2. As I promised in part 1 that I will upload part 2. In part 2, I am going to talk about the past continuous tense negative verb sentences. Right. So what we are basically going to do is to take the sentences that we did in part 1 and then we are just going to negate them, meaning that we are going to make them negative. So that's what we are going to do in this part 2. Right. So without any waste of time, let us get straight into it. The negative verb sentences, past continuous tense. Let us first look at the structure. Basically, the sentences that we use in the negative verb sentence are almost similar with the ones that we saw in the positive verb sentences, with the only difference being the not. Okay, that's the only difference, because we are negating or making these sentences negative. But let's quickly go through the words that make up the past continuous tense negative verb sentence one by one. First, you need the subject. After the subject, you need the past verb to be. And then, of course, you need to negate it, meaning to make it negative by putting not. And then the gerund, the object after the gerund, other words after the object. And then, as we said in part 1, that if the sentence is sentence that indicates interruption, then we need to use when. Okay? Then after when, we use the simple past tense. So this sentence thus indicates that the sentence refers to an interruption in one action. And then if you are talking about the sentences which were happening at the same time, moment or event in the past, you need the subject, the past verb to be, then you need not, the gerund, then the object, then other words, then you put while. The while, of course, like we said, we use it when we talk about the two actions that were happening at the same time. Then the second action should also be in the past continuous tense. So you need the subject, the past verb to be, the gerund, and the object. Okay? So this is the structure that is associated with the negative verb sentence. And then, as you know, of course, with the rules that we use the past verb to be was for the subject, I, he, she, and it. Okay? And then you use the past verb to be word for the subject, you, they, and we. Okay? So this is the structure and of course the rules which are associated with the negative verb sentence in the past continuous tense. Okay? Now, let us apply these rules and the structure by doing some exercises in the next slide. The exercise says, change the following sentences into the past continuous tense negative sentences, meaning that we should make these sentences negative. First sentence. Tom kicked the ball, space, it rained. Tom is the subject, it's a he. And then we have to use the past verb to be, was. And of course, we need to negate it, meaning to make it negative. These are negative sentences. And then we have to put an ing at the end of the verb to make it a gerund. As you can see here, the second action is in the simple past. So it means there was an interruption. So we have to use when. The correct sentence therefore becomes, Tom was not kicking the ball when it rained. Next, the baby cried, space, the dog was barking. The baby can be a he or a she, and therefore we need to use the past verb to be was, and we need to make it negative by putting not, and put an ing at the end of the verb. But then the second action you can see here, it is continuous, past continuous tense. It is in the past continuous tense. So it means the two actions were happening at the same time. So we have to use while. The correct sentence is, the baby was not crying while the dog was barking. Next up, Mike played football with his friend, space, he broke his leg. Mike, it's a he, and so we need to use the past verb to be, was, and make it negative by putting not, and we put an ing at the end of the verb. The second action is in the simple past, and therefore it means that the second action interrupted the first action. So we have to put when. As such, the correct sentence becomes, Mike was not playing football with his friend when he broke his leg. Next up, I walked to work, gap, I bumped into her. Subject I, for the subject I, we use was, and we need to make it negative by putting not, and we put an ing at the end of the verb. And you can see here, the second action is in the simple past. So it means that there was an interruption. So we have to use when. The correct sentence becomes, I was not walking to work when I bumped into her. Next, we drink orange juice, gap, they were swimming. Subject, we, for the subject we use the past verb to be were, make it negative by putting not, becomes were not, then our verb has to end with an ing. And you can see here, the second action is continuous. So it means the two actions were happening at the same time. And therefore, the correct sentence becomes, we were not drinking orange juice while they were swimming. Next, you sing with the choir. He was playing football. Subject you. Therefore, we have to use the verb to be were, make it negative, not, put an ing at the end of the verb to make it a gerund, becomes singing, right? Then the second action is continuous, and therefore it means we have to use while because the two actions were happening at the same time. The correct sentence thus becomes, you were not singing with the choir while he was playing football. They ran together, gap, I called them. Subject, they, and therefore we have to use the verb to be where, make it negative by putting not, make the verb to be a gerund by putting an ing. The second action is in the simple past, and therefore it means there was an interruption. So we have to put when. The correct sentence therefore becomes, they were not running together when I called them. Ken and Tom dance very well. Yet Sarah was taking a video of them. Subject, Ken and Tom, he and he, but we have to take them as a collective subject, and therefore the collective subject is they, because I am talking about other people. I did not include myself in this subject, right? And then the second action is in the past continuous tense as well. So it means the two actions were happening at the same time. And therefore I have to use while. So Ken and Tom, collective subject, same as they. And therefore we have to use the verb to be where, make it negative by putting not, and put an ing at the end of the verb. The correct sentence becomes, Ken and Tom were not dancing very well while Sarah was taking a video of them. Last sentence. Sylvia and I eat rice and chicken. Yep, she got a stomach ache. Subject, Sylvia and I, she and I, she and he. I included myself in this sentence. I'm part of the subject, and therefore it means the collective subject is we. For we use the past verb to be were. Make it negative by putting not, make your verb, and with an ing to make it a gerund. Second action, simple past, and therefore it means there was an interruption. The correct sentence is therefore, Sylvia and I were not eating rice and chicken when she got a stomach ache. All right, everyone. So that is all about the past continuous tense part 2, negative verb sentences. I hope that you learned a lot in this lesson, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please be on the lookout for part 3 of the past continuous tense. In that part, I will explain the past continuous tense, yes, no questions, verb sentences. Right, for now, it is a goodbye from me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.